Okay, here we go. And we're back. We're here. We're live. Welcome, everybody. It's your buddy Uncle Bruce with Stock Markets with Bruce coming to you today for the very first time from Edinburgh in Scotland. We arrived yesterday, Jennifer and I, coming up by train from London using pass. First time for that. First time for that train ride up here. First time in this area. Never been here before. And it's really unique. It's a beautiful area, and you can see why many tourists like coming here. Many visitors can make sense. Had a wonderful dinner last night. Had a family-owned Italian kind of a restaurant, which was a real nice treat to avoid the proverbial, you know, manufactured, factory-made food that so many of us are used to. That was kind of nice, and it was delicious, and the service was great, and it's all good. I am constantly fiddling about here, looking for little things that I'm always in need of, like to clean my glasses live on the air rather than pre-show. Um, it's just a nonstop setting up situation to make sure everything's working. And I hope for all of you that my picture is coming in clear and the sound is okay. I am hoping the internet will work. It seems to be working rather well, and I think all is fine. Jennifer's great. We are we unfortunately Edinburgh's not necessarily flat like London is flat. It is a little more of a challenge to get around here, but we're doing the best we can with what we've got. And we will be out in the boot later to see a few different sites. Tomorrow is the sightseeing day for us, Saturday, and we're going to see a few things here. And then we leave on Sunday, actually, and we head our way back to London. And then from London, right away, we catch a train to Amsterdam. So you and I will visit each other again on Monday, live from Amsterdam, and we'll be there all next week until next week, Friday. Oh, the traveling is unique. I have to give you that. Thank you all for being here. We are higher this morning. The indexes are looking good. We have got news out there and economic developments out there that would seem to indicate that it is entirely possible we might get a bit of a rally going like we had going earlier this week, which got terribly interrupted on, I think it was Wednesday. And then yesterday we added another 200-point drop to the 1200 we had the day before. This is the Dow I'm talking about. But right now we're up 263 on the Dow, which seems to me a reversal of, 236 points that we lost yesterday on the Dow has been already eaten back with just the pre-market market. So we're up 260 or so on the pre-market. The S&P is up 41. The NASDAQ is up 173 points in the pre-market with 55 minutes to go before we open. In plain English, what is going on? That's what this channel is all about, by the way. If you're new here, wondering, well, who's this guy? What was he talking about? I like to talk about the stock markets in plain English, and I try to figure out for you and with you what is going on and why is it happening. Overnight last night in China, the Central Bank of China has lowered interest rates for real estate mortgages and so on. Not much of a drop. I think it's about 0.15 of a point, not quite a quarter of a point, but it is a drop nonetheless. And it is a signal. Again, this is the financial community at large is always trying to read into what are these bankers doing and where are their thoughts at. And analysts have looked at what the Bank of China did yesterday, their time, as a positive sign overall for the economy and the world economy, because if it is cheaper, less costly to borrow money in China for your own home, condo, perhaps to build a factory, build an office building, wherever have you, if the cost of real estate is cheaper to do in China because of the Chinese government lowering of interest rates, that is a good sign. That means many goods will need to be imported by the country in order to produce these properties. Yes, China has a lot of resources. Yes, they do. But they don't have everything that they need to build modern type structures. And so good news for employment. A lot of people are employed in the Chinese real estate market, whether they're builders or designers or architects or engineers, consultants, and then of course the finance and insurance area, building operations, and so on. A huge business, a huge part of the Chinese economy. And if the Chinese economy is not, if it's being stimulated in a positive way to expand and grow, that means consumerism is likely to improve. Obviously, these folks who have these jobs and all of these sectors of real estate will continue to want furniture. They will continue to want a new car. They'll want to go out. They'll want to holiday. They'll want to whatever. They'll be able to save money. They'll be able to grow their investments. Good for the economy of China, and ultimately the second largest economy in the world. Good for the planet itself. But we'll see, how far this goes and how successful it is. Will the Chinese government, through the Bank of China, need to do more stimulus? The chances are likely they will do more stimulus in other sectors of the economy. That's likely to come. We'll watch for that. That move last night while we were all asleep, excuse me, set the tone for a better vibe in the markets, a better vibe in the entire investment community. Asia stocks last night, Asia markets, all went up between 1.5% to almost 3% last night. European markets this morning are up 1.5% to 2% across the board from the UK, Germany, France, and elsewhere. So we have a good vibe overall for the markets globally, and it's now bleeding into America, into North American markets. And that's why the Dow's up 268. 0.88 of a percentage point. S&P up 43 points, which is 1.1%. And over on NASDAQ, we're up 173, up 1.46%. On top of all of that, you have got to couple the fact that it is obvious, there's no question about it, the North American stock markets are way, way oversold. And this has been true right up until Tuesday of this week. And then we had markets improving Monday and Tuesday. Then we had the Wednesday back off yesterday. Now the elastic, this thing has been pulled even further on this thing. This market is about to take a shot. Now, is it today? Is it the first 3 hours of this morning? Is this really the moment? I don't know, but indications this morning are positive. The question now is the follow through there. There are publications out there, and there are prognosticators out there who are studying these numbers very closely and carefully, and they're noting that, look, the S&P 500 index, was in the 4,000s. It's now 3,900. It's really backed off, and the odds are that the S&P may well be ready for a snapback rally of some kind. I'm just going to take a look here for the last, let's say, year, just on a chart that I have here. I'll see if I can get this to work or not. Looking at the last year for the S&P 500. See if I can get this to work. Oh, come on. Don't let me down. Come on, do something. Work. It's not working. Oh, here's the last. Okay, we have from January of this year. In January, the S&P was at 4780. Right now, it's at 3941. This is a huge pullback. And basically, at the end of the year, we were near the all-time record highs. The 52-week range, 4,808 for the S&P. We're now approaching 39. Well, we're at 3940. And the talk is maybe 3,800 might be visible. Well, that's about a 1,000-point drop from the high just on January the 3rd of this year. That's too much too soon. So if you take 1,000 points off of a 4,700-point index, you're talking over 20% in a very short period of time, where there is no economic indication of a recession happening. There is no recession right now in the U.S. markets or the economy. Demand is extremely strong. Employment is extremely healthy. Americans are trying to buy stuff and can't get stuff. The reason for the decline in the market is not because of a lack of demand, it is a lack of supply. We had the other day our friends at Walmart and Target absolutely come out and say it. We're running into supply chain issues, higher prices to get our stuff in here. We can't get it in here fast enough to meet our demands. We're not reaching our objectives. We're not hitting our sales targets. And it's not because our customers don't want to buy it. It's happening with our consumers, our clients. But it's not a buyer strike. That is not happening. People are just readjusting what it is they want and what they're prepared to pay for. Over on Home Depot, they hit their targets. They're finding ways to get merchandise in here. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it, and they're staying on top of their clients' wants and needs and desires. And they're hoping for the best. Shares did have an uptick on Monday, but then had a downtick after that as the other retailers began to have problems. So there's talk out there that we're kind of at the bottom of a oversold scenario, even on very high-end stocks, but everywhere else as well. And those of you who are watching me here all the time, you have noticed in the last week or so a whole bunch of these former SPACs that we follow. There's 8 of them. They've stopped dropping to new all-time lows. They have started to improve. All of them, just a little here, a little here, a little there, because the sell-off all of a sudden seems to be over. And when the markets began their little improvement here up until Wednesday and yesterday, that took the heat off of margin account selling. All of a sudden, margin accounts don't have heat on them anymore to raise cash. Margin accounts all of a sudden have spare capacity. And if the markets continue to inch up higher and higher, the margin problem goes away completely, and all of a sudden it's an expanding market. On top of all that, there are tons of dollars, trillions of them on the sidelines waiting to re-enter the stock market, the equity market globally. And these dollars are held by individual investors and institutional investors. And institutional investors are under the gun to always be invested, to always have money working for them. Institutional investors that have cash balances, they can get away with it for a while when markets drop. But once markets begin to sort of level off, these dollars should be allocated into the first areas that markets will improve and where the growth can be the greatest. And so the heat is on right now for a lot of equity fund managers to find suitably priced and suitably attractive equities to pick up and start to nibble into. The problem is if you've got $10 trillion, not any one guy, but people around the world have that kind of cash. You can't put that kind of cash into the market in 15 minutes. It just doesn't work. There's no way there's 10 trillion of selling willing to give it to you. So it's a big, slow momentum rebuild. And this is why markets take longer to go up than to go down. Rising markets take weeks and months to rise, where panic selling markets take hours to go down, and they overreact every single time. So we're watching for that. We haven't had that happen yet in a big, sustained way. We've only had a couple of days of rallies early this week. Now we've got another little rally. Seems to be happening this morning. We'll see what kind of strength there is behind it. Equities are competing with interest rates, by the way. Bonds and equities are always at each other's throats. Equity investors say, I'd rather buy stock in company blah than buy bonds with an interest rate of such and such, because I believe that either one, the dividend that the company is paying is way better than the interest rate I'm getting on a T-bill, and I think the dividend will be safe, if not even go higher. The more aggressive investor will say, I like dividends, but I love capital gains. And I see capital gains being much higher than just the dividend rate. So if IBM is paying a 5% yield, but the stock can go up 10% in value this year on top of that, I got a 15% return on my money. Whereas if I put my money into a 3-year treasury note with the US government, I'm getting 2.85%. That's why equity investors buy equities versus buying bonds. Now, equity investors have to be given the excuse to want to buy equities over bonds when equities are falling. When they fall in value, they have the idea of selling their equities and buying bonds until the equities stop falling. And then when they seem to be bottoming out, they'll take the money out of bonds and go back into equities and run back to where we were before. Well, that's already a gain. That could be a gain of 4, 8, 10, 30, 40%. All depends on how bad the equity is done. This is the proverbial game that's going on with large investors, small investors, and everybody else. Here on this channel, right here, you guys have the wild card in your hand, many of you, which is the we write options against stocks wild card. And here we have an attitude that, if the market goes up, that's great. We get more valuable, we get wealthier, so stocks are going up, we are equity investors. And if they don't go anywhere, they kind of stay flat, we have a way to make money. And if they go down, we have another way to make money in this market. We can make money 3 different ways. It doesn't matter which direction it goes or if it does nothing. We write call options on stock we own for income. And the market keeps handing it to us no matter what the market does. It's incredible. People here have been writing call options all this week. Writing call options when the market's going up early this week, writing call options when they were going down this week, writing call options when they go up and they go down and they break even all week. It just doesn't matter. And viewers of this channel write call options all the time. And call options are a wonderful way to cushion the blow of a dropping market, a wonderful way to enhance revenue while the market doesn't know what to do, and another way to generate income on top of a capital gain when a market is moving higher. And congratulations to those of you who have learned the art of writing call options by being followers of this channel. If you're a member of this channel, you're one of these folks here commenting all the time. Many of the folks commenting here are now writing options as well as investing in stock. And then those of you who have decided, I want to go a step further, I really want to get into this. I think what Bruce is saying is something I want to go with, and that is I could theoretically set myself up in the next short period of time with a little bit of education on how options really work and how to really write them the right way, how to lock in the best pricing on them, and how to lock in the best buyback strategies. I could theoretically get away from my full-time job and get away from my employer and be self-employed as a self-employed asset manager of my own assets. Because many of you have figured out in the last 6 months to a year that you have had all along for years, some of you for 10 years, some of you for 15, 20 years, you've had enough assets in your possession that you could have been self-employed, being a self-employed asset manager. The reason you didn't know about it and the reason you didn't do it is because there was nowhere for you to go to learn how to do this. And many of you out there have been shocked to find out as you've built up a bit of a nest egg or you've inherited some money, or you've built equity up in your home and you've sold a house and bought a smaller house and you have a little nest egg. Many of you figured out, no matter how much capital you have, and you thought you had some capital to talk about here, that you're not even being entertained as a possible client by money managers. You're shocked to learn that unless you walk through the door of a Wall Street outfit, that unless you've got $1 million or more, they're not going to give you the time of day on a one-on-one human-to-human basis. You're just not going to get anyone's time. If you were someone who's very familiar with the business, very familiar with the investment trade, and you can talk to an investment advisor on their level, they will entertain talking to you with less than $1 million on hand, because you're going to be an easy account to manage. Because again, it's easy for them to explain to you in all the fancy lingo what they're up to. But if you're a neophyte and you've come into a bunch of dough, you're just the only place you're welcome is the so-called managed portfolio department, where you sign an agreement to allow a firm to manage the money, your money for you, for a percentage of the value of your fund. And that could be 2%, 3% a year, a quarter percent a month on the value of your account. And what you'll find is very consistently every month when you receive your statement, either by email or in physical form, you'll see all the data on all of your transactions and your account information, but you'll always see somewhere on the statement a fee that will go across that they will have deducted and taken out of your account every month. Whether you make money or not, it's a quarter percentage of the value of your portfolio at a certain date every month. Now, in theory, the firm will say to you, well, this is what you want because we get a percentage of your account's value. But actually, we want your account value to go higher, because the higher your account is worth, the more we get. 3% of $1 million is so much, but 3% of 2 million is double. And so we're motivated to make you money. The problem is that many of you have found out, and friends of yours, relatives of yours, perhaps you've been asked by the family to look after mom and dad's investments, or grandma and grandpa's situation. They're getting on now, and you're looking at the portfolio situation they have wherever they have it, and you're realizing that these people are just not making any money. They're getting returns of 2, 3, 4% when the stock market was going up 15, 20% a year. And deep in the books, you're looking deep in and you're adding up how much money in fees they've paid every month to the firm that's managing their account. And you're going, good Lord, these people are paying, my grandparents are paying thousands of dollars a year in advisory services, and they've never talked to anybody over there. No one's ever come to their house and had a coffee with them. They never get a Christmas card. They don't even get a phone call. They don't even know who their advisors are. They have no idea. Well, this is the business. This is the business now for many, many, many investors out there. This is the level of service that now exists for many investors out there. And it's all computers that are handling these transactions. And you don't get to talk to a human being because there are no human beings. There are computer systems that are handling the trades. And nowhere, absolutely nowhere, are you getting any kind of a scenario where you're paying a monthly fee and you've got someone writing options on your account, for your account, to boost your returns. There's none of that. These funds, these entities, these managed accounts are sitting with your money. You're sitting into ETFs. You've got mutual funds. You got exchange traded funds. You're into all kinds of funds, which are managed by teams of investment entities out there that themselves charge a management fee to run themselves. And so you own shares in an ETF that has its own fee structure that is taken away from your return. Then your units have gone from this value to hopefully this value, and that value there has then been added into your account's value, and your account every month is being charged a quarter of a percentage point in handling fees and in management fees, which are coming off the top again. So you're paying management fees on top of management fees, and you don't know anyone who's managing your money. And at the end of the year, many of you have noticed, either for yourselves or someone else, that 2 to 3% is all you're getting on your dough. And it's been that way for a decade. And the entities that so-called are managing you guys, what you think you know is they're charging you 2 to 3% to manage your money. But what you don't know is that the layers of management inside all these ETFs and mutual funds and everything else, they're taking fees off the top on their performance lines. And you combine all that and couple all that together, and at the end of the day, you're paying 4, 5, 6% a year in fees for management services, and you don't know who it is that's managing your money. It's a firm, yeah, it's a company, but you don't know anyone in the company. And there's no one to talk to about it. That's not going to happen. I can't tell you how many times people have asked me one-on-one. People have come to me and said, Bruce, I want to have a one-on-one session with you. I want to talk to you for an hour. I know you charge $400 an hour for your time. I know you do. It's 400 US dollars for an hour, and you do this on weekends. But I want to talk to you for an hour because I've noticed that in my statements, I am being charged $2,000 a month for advisory services, and I've never talked to anybody. That's 24,000 bucks a year. I want to talk to you for an hour, face to face, and ask you questions like, what are they doing with my money? What does this mean? What is this? Should I be into this kind of an investment? How can I make more money with my money? And a lot of you have figured out I don't need an investment advisor. Watching the gang with Uncle Bruce on his channel, Stock Markets with Bruce every day, these people have taken over their lives and are self-managing themselves. They don't need some slick talking, speech writing, basically a person who's trying to sell you a bill of goods to get you to have their funds managed. You can manage them yourselves, and don't pay the $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month or whatever it is. In some cases, it's a minimum amount per year or a percentage, depending on how much money you've got. But there are folks out there who are paying thousands a month for services that they shouldn't be paying for. The option writing thing, that's a whole other ball game. Folks sit down with me for an hour and say, explain to me one-on-one like you would a child how this works. And I do. And we go over it in plain English, and you realize, oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, that's what that is. I had no idea you could do that. I only thought banks could do option writing. I only thought hedge funds could option write. I didn't know I could do it in my own account. I had no idea. Yes, you can take control of your investments and steer them yourselves and keep the management fee for yourself. And that, you know what? You can say to yourself, yeah, if I lose $2,000 this month on some stupid decisions I've made, you know what? I would have paid $2,000 in fees to these morons, whether they made me any money or not. So, okay, I've got some cushion here to not blow it. I'm going to get into this. Now, for some of you, you're ready to jump right in the pool right now. Let's go. And you're ready to start trading in minutes, hours, days. Others of you need time. And I totally get that. You definitely need time. And I say to those of you who want to learn how to look after your own portfolios, become option writers, one way to do it at your pace is, and this is the reason I did this, I created classes on my website. Head on over to my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Get over there and pick up, here it is right here, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. That's my website. And if you go over there, you're going to come to my homepage, and it looks kind of like, where is it? It's kind of like this. Do I have it here? I don't know where I have it. I should have it. Yeah, here it is. Here's the screenshot. This is the homepage for my website, Stock Markets with Bruce. Hey there. And if you go to the top corner, you'll find it says classes. I think third from the left, it says classes. And you'll come to that page right there, classes, and then you can watch these right here. I've put together now 13 classes for you, one at a time. Each of these run about an hour and 40 minutes to 2 hours, 10 minutes in length. They are done live, where I am instructing in front of a whiteboard, and students are watching me live, asking questions. Jennifer, Auntie Jen, is the moderator of these classes, and she handled all the questions. And if you watch these classes, you'll realize, geez, there's all kinds of little gems in here. I had no idea what was going on in here. There's just all kinds of little ditties this guy's talking about. Well, what do you want for 2 hours? You're going to get a lot of stuff you don't get from a financial advisor at $2,000 a month. You're not going to get anything from those guys. Anyway, here's where you can go. You can, like I said, you can pick up information here about how to write call options, how to become a more savvy investor. I try to cover it all, how they work, how they depreciate, how to trade them, and all that kind of stuff. I try to cover as much as I can. And there are now 13 classes. There's actually a number 13 now you can go check out on top of those. And well, by the way, here's a picture of Edinburgh. I didn't take this photo, by the way. I'd love to say I did, but this is a royalty-free image I'm allowed to use of I think, from the castle looking back down towards the old city of Edinburgh. In any event, you get a chance, check out the lessons. You pick one up. They're like $100 each. You can watch whichever ones you want in any order you want. You want to start from 13, go to 1. You want to go from 1 to 13. You want to go somewhere else, and you want to mix them all up. I couldn't care. Do whatever you want. I recommend go from 1 to 13. That's what I recommend, but totally up to you. You're just going to get a handle on how option writing really works and how it goes. And if you hang out here on the live show, watching these folks talking here during the day, you'll begin to figure out, oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, I see. I see. When so-and-so says they sold these contracts for $985 and bought them back for $485, they made $500 per contract in what, two days was that? That was a 2-day trade, a 1-day trade? Wow. If you write 5 contracts and make $500 a contract in profit, that's $2,500. Can you do that once a week, like 4 times a month? That's $10,000 a month coming in. Wow, no wonder he keeps talking about the idea of people quitting their day jobs. Oh, that's what he's talking about. You don't need $5 million to become an option writer. You don't need a $1 million portfolio to be self-employed, to be literally out of a day job. Many of you here have decided, I love Bruce, but I don't trust him. I believe him, but I don't trust him. I'm going to dip my toe in the water and try it one contract at a time and just see how it goes for a while, because it's got to happen in my account for me to believe this. And that's what's been happening the last year. And every once in a while, I get the email from someone who'll say, I tried it, and I had a couple of winners, and I had a couple of trades that didn't make any money on, and then I did, and then I got smarter, and then I listened to what you said about this and that, and I did that, and I did that. I made more money. I made more money. Now I write 3 at a time, 4 at a time, 5 at a time. I can't believe how much money I make doing this. And thank God I found you. But where were you 15 years ago, buddy? I was so much younger then. I would love to have been doing this the last 15 years. Well, sorry, YouTube wasn't around 15 years ago. It's around now. And so here we are. And I say, welcome to the party, all of you who are here, and I welcome you to the channel, and I hope that you are figuring out what's going on. Obama Babe, the worst week I have had since I began writing covered calls was I lost $181, but I'm averaging now close to $2,000 in a week, and I am a conservative option writer. And this is the key also to understand. This is a key point that I want you to understand here. If you are writing options, you're not the risk taker. You're not the gambler. The gambler is the individuals who are buying and selling options on the options markets. These are the folks who are using what they consider chump change, money they're prepared to gamble all on a transaction, on a wager, where you are writing a call, you're selling a call option to these gamblers, and you set the terms and conditions of the sale. And this is, again, the lessons. I keep coming back to the lessons. I cannot spend 2 hours every day explaining options on this show, because then I can't cover the markets. That's why the lessons are there. Some people say, oh, you could find this out online. You can, but you have to be able to understand the lingo they're using. And you may have to look at currency exchange contracts or futures exchange contracts rather than stock options. That the stocks that we talk about here every day on this channel are the ones in the class. We actually talk about stocks like GameStop and IBM and Apple and others on how to write options on what we talk about all the time. So it's relative. And so you take a class or two and you go, oh, yeah, they were talking about that this morning or yesterday. I watched yesterday's show and they were talking about that stock. And here's the strategy on how to write options on that stock. Now I'm getting it. It's coming in. I try to make it as simple as if at all possible for you. And here's what's happening. People are writing options and they're beginning to understand how they work. And they're beginning to figure out that they too can make some serious money doing this. And whether you're a male or a female, whether you're a university graduate or a high school graduate or a non-high school graduate, it doesn't matter. You do not need a master's degree in economics to do option writing. You do not need a securities license to do it. You don't need to have sophisticated financial training on how to do this. You need to understand how the markets work and how they go up and down. You have to understand how markets go up and how markets go down. And you have to understand how options depreciate as they get closer to expiry, and where you have a window of opportunity on any stock to zip in there and go, oh, I can write on this one. I'm going to write contracts on that one. But you've got to understand the basics, and this is what the classes are all for. So if you check them out, beautiful. Options Nomads are saying the lessons are worth every penny. For people like us who were totally clueless a year ago, the information we got has paid for the classes many times over. And that is the key right there. Right on. Thank you, Options Nomads. Thank you very much. If you would like to have a one-on-one with me to just talk about your investments, to talk about your situation in the world you're in, everything was great until a couple of years ago, when all of a sudden you now have to look after mom and dad's everything, or a parent passed away and the other parent doesn't know anything about anything, and it's now falling onto you to handle the whole enchilada. And it used to be so simple because so-and-so used to look after everything. Now you have to do it. You want to talk to someone about this, the pressures of life itself, just, ideas, advice, thoughts, your own personal account, your ideas for personal trading. You're working two jobs. You're desperate to get out of these jobs to be self-employed, or when would be the right time to pull the pin. Or some of you who are working and will continue to work, you want someone to talk to about how to extract more money from your current employer, or how to make more money doing what it is you do. You're just not sure how to go about it. People contact me for all kinds of reasons. They kind of look at me as the father figure in a way, the advisor. I don't sit at your Thanksgiving table every year and tell you what I think of you. You'll never get me at the table where I criticize you and your judgments. I leave that to all of your friends and relatives. Whoever you invite to your Thanksgiving dinner table, that's your problem. Now, whether you go to someone else's Thanksgiving dinner table, you're also vulnerable there. But you're not going to find me at those either. So you can talk to me one-on-one. And you don't have to worry about what I think about what you're doing. I'll give you my opinion on it, and you can take it or leave it, because I won't tell anybody who you're related to what you're doing. So it's a great relief for people to hang out with me for a while and go, Bruce, oh, this has been so relieving. I can just tell you what's going on. Here's our situation. What do you think we should do? Or what are our options? What should we or should we not consider doing, and why? And well, there you have it. So if you want an outside opinion, maybe I can help you. Anyway, if you do want to have a one-on-one with me, you can always send me a private email right here, brucefarmer@hotmail.com. You just send me an email saying, Bruce, I'd like to have a one-on-one with you. Can you, when can we get together? Now, at the moment, Jennifer and I are on the road. We're in Europe, but I could still do one-on-ones. It's just a question of time, because we're in Europe, and the day, because there are certain travel days and whatnot. But we'll figure it out. So if you let me know that you'd like to do a one-on-one, let me know and tell me what would work best for you, Saturday or Sunday, or a weekday sometime or whatever. Let me know, and then we'll try to figure out when we can find an hour to get together. We'll have a chat. They can be most enlightening. All right, thank you all for being here. I think we're 20 minutes away from opening this day up and getting ready to trade, and we're still positive across the board. We're up 263 on the Dow and holding. We're up 41 on S&P, and we're up 168 on NASDAQ, which is 1.4%. The S&P up 1.07%. The Dow up 0.84. So it looks good. Oil is up 37 cents a barrel at 112.58. There's a lot of talk right now that oil may have already possibly reached its peak or darn close to it. Some experts are thinking there might be one more run to 118, and then it's game over, back into the high 80s and mid 90s for oil prices. balance of the summer. And that would cause a tremendous price drop at the pump everywhere, all over Europe, all over North America, South America, everywhere else. That takes a lot of economic inflationary pressure off the table, a ton of it. That would take a lot of pressure off of interest rate increases. So that, just compounded, that is much higher markets. Corporations being able to meet expectations of earnings and cash flow and revenues, making their stocks more attractive at current prices, up we go. And so all of you, if you want to become extremely valuable, you want to become extremely rich, you want to become much more economically powerful personally, use half the fuel you're using now, every single one of you around the world. It's easy advice, really. Just cut back on how much oil you need for whatever it is you're doing and find ways to be conservators. If you do that, you'll all become richer, more valuable. It is undeniable how many trillions of dollars are shifting from the industrialized world to the world where oil comes from. And that's all over the place between Russia and the Mideast and South American countries and African countries. There's producers. Don't forget, Canada's a producer too. And America's a producer. But there are certain countries among the countries that produce oil that are not necessarily pals or very close and deep trusted friends of some of the countries in which we are from. And if you want to assert economic control and have a stronger economic existence for yourself, cut back how much oil you use, big time. If we did that as a nation, as a sophisticated G20 world, we cut back our needs of oil and gas, we would shift the balance of economic power like you cannot believe. The standard of living of everyone in Europe and North America would skyrocket, would just go straight up. It would be unbelievable. But you have to want it. And there's the problem. If you love driving the big pickup truck and burning rubber in the parking lot on a Friday night, you're not helping the planet. You're not helping your balance of payments, and you're not helping your own lifestyle. You might think you're doing great yourself because, yeah, I got a job. I can afford this. Yeah. But the damage has already been paid. You'll note it. You'll notice it when you go to these countries for a vacay or travel or whatever. You ever end up in some of these countries where they produce oil and they're not necessarily our deepest, closest friends, take a look at the buildings in their big cities. Take a look at the highway systems. Take a look at their infrastructure. Take a look at their lifestyle. Take a look at the families that live there, how well they're doing. And you'll realize, oh, wow, these folks are all living off of my dime. They are. They're living off of your money because these beautiful oases wouldn't exist if oil was this expensive. But hey, I don't hate these people. I actually love these people. It's just the philosophy of, their idea of right and wrong is maybe different than ours. And I'll leave it at that. Anyway, Canada is a great country, and we love America, and we love Europe. And Canadians say thank you very much to all of you out there who are using oil at now $112 a barrel, because I got to tell you, in Alberta, where I come from, in Western Canada, times are good. The dough is flowing into the government coffers, into corporate coffers, shareholder coffers over there. Real estate prices in Calgary and Edmonton are firing higher. Money is coming in for hospitals and schools and highways and paying off debts and all that stuff. So we do thank you. But we also understand that if oil were more like $80 a barrel, we'd still be making good money, but others would have problems. Those entities out there, those certain countries run by certain strongmen would have financial problems big time because their bribes and their payoffs are such that they need high-priced oil to keep this game going that they've set themselves up with. But that's another story for another time. We are 14 13 minutes away from opening this morning. I see SoFi at $7.99 right now on the pre-market. All morning, it's been 790 something to 810 something. We seem to want to break through $8 on SoFi, and I'm happy. I couldn't be happier about it. The hope I have is that the follow-through buying on the open market, the market opening is there, and we just keep on right on rocking and rolling. 850 to 9 is certainly in the wheelhouse. It's certainly easily attainable here. Those of you who have bought SoFi at, in the 4.80, 95 range, the 5.10, 20, 30 range, those who bought it all the way down when SoFi kept falling, you were buying in the 9s and the 8s and the 7s and the 6s and the 5s. You bought, lowered your averages down. This stock is doing you a favor. It's coming to get you. It's coming back for you. Anyone now who has an $8 average now notices I'm even. This stock has come back to me. This is great. Doesn't look like it's going to stop. It's got a ways to go. It could go quite a ways yet. And of course, every quarter, SoFi just keeps blowing away the numbers with how many new clients are adding up. They're now full chartered bank and on it goes. GameStop, $99.80, up 61 cents this morning. It seems to me to want to be going over 100 again. It just wants to kind of do that. We'll see if it happens. Time will tell, but it's doing okay. It's only traded 18,000 shares on the pre-market. By the way, SoFi is traded 1 million on the pre-market. So we'll see how they open up. The Dow, like I said, is up. So is S&P. So is NASDAQ. They're all higher, nicely higher. This market has got cash coming into it. There's definitely global money coming into this market right now. The first hour and a half, we might be lethargic, only because we're with Europe. Europe will close after an hour and a half, and then it's the New York market for the rest of the day by itself. New York, NASDAQ, and all the other indexes. We'll see how the momentum builds after an hour and a half, whether we have a stronger momentum close and an uptick through Friday or not. The other question is, will market players want to be long over the weekend or flat? That's the question. In past weeks, with 6 or 7 straight down weeks in a row, the markets have been lower and lower and lower. Friday afternoons were carnage. People just getting out. They didn't want to be long. They wanted to be just sitting on cash, and then Monday morning they decide what to do. Today could be the opposite. Today could be a George Costanza moment where the market says, actually, I want to be long stock because Monday morning it could be even more expensive to get in. We are so oversold that the prices are going higher next week, not lower. I want in now rather than trying to get in on Monday with the mayhem. So that could be the scenario. I don't know, but so far in this pre-market today, it's looking very good. All right. Bama Babe, we're all intellectual simpletons here. We're pretty smart. Intellectually simple. There you go. Oh my goodness. 10-year bonds are down this morning, says FL. Let me take a look at the market here. If an can. Interest rates right now, yeah, we're looking at the 10-year paying 2.84%. That is lower. Germany is at 0.957. We were at 1.1% week and a bit ago. That's come off quite a bit. Also, interest rates in the UK are holding around 1.9 now, not going very far. On the currencies, we're a little lower in the euro, 1.05.66, 105.66, but we've been as low as 103 already in the last little while. The pound, the British pound, 1.249, trying to go a little higher, back to 125. We were at 122 not too long ago. So noticing here that the pound, just a few days ago was 122, and that the euro, let's see here, the euro in the last week or so, yeah, we, hang on, my computer it wants to glitch on me for, it's a glitcher. You know how it is. You know how these computers are. Sometimes they get this attitude that they think they can go wherever they want because they're computers. and you don't understand us, and you can't control us. I just keep coming back and click the same button all the time until it works. 103.8 was the low on the euro not too long ago. Might even have been like last week, late last week. So 103.8 to 105.6. So almost a 2 penny recovery, but we're going lower. The consensus in the marketplace, you talk to the bond guys, the interest rate followers, currency boys and girls, they're thinking that the euro is going to reach par with the American dollar. It's going to be even with the American dollar during this summer because of economic slowdown issues and what have you. In the British pound, the thinking there is we're going to go under 120. The question is, will we reach 115? That is the big question. And that is a big deal because only a month ago we were at 130. And only a year ago, we were 140 on the pound. So to go down to 115, that is a 25-cent reduction in the value of the British pound against the American dollar. That is huge, huge drop. But we're not there yet. We've come a ways, but we're not fully there yet. All right. 8 minutes to go before we open for trading. And I thank you all for being here. Here we go. Nick Morier, I've been trying to conserve every bit of gas I can. Been light on the accelerator, keeping good spacing to minimize braking, sitting behind semis to minimize and wind resistance. $80 oil is on the way. That would be great. That would be totally a great thing if we could get $80 a barrel oil. A Coyote 802 Sofi. It's nuts. It's nuts. I love it. I love seeing Sofi up here. I would love to see it just go higher and higher and higher because it deserves to be much higher than where it's trading at now. This is not satisfying. $8 a share. This is not the end of the story for Sofi. Yeah, put a 1 in front of the 8, and when we'll start talking. 18 and up, we'll start talking. We'll see how things go. All right, we have 7 minutes to go before we open the show or reopen the stock market for trading. Thank you all for being here from around the world, as you always are. It's great to have you here. We're live in Edinburgh, Scotland. I try to upload photos and videos to you guys. I just can't do it for whatever reason. This phone of mine. Well, okay. Here's the reality. This is the problem. My phone is of such a high quality. This stupid thing that it takes videos and photos in such a high format that it's too good for me to load it up into my StreamYard thing so you can see it. And so what ends up happening, of course, is I put these clips into videos and you can watch them there. But I thought I would show you a clip. I'm going to try to show you a clip if I can. This is yesterday when Jen and I arrived in Edinburgh. Yeah, this is it right here. I'm going to attempt to work this. Okay, so hang on. I came out of the station in downtown Edinburgh, and I did one of these pans, So hang on. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can make this work. There you go. Now, these are just people walking about. I was waiting for Jen to come out of the bathroom, and she was downstairs waiting for them. So that's towards the castle there, and there's a churchway over there, and down the main drag here. And, a beautiful day, sunny, and, Foot Locker everywhere. Barclays Bank. Some things look familiar to you, some don't. Some of this looks very London-like. And some of it's just, the UK, and this is Scotland. Really cool place. I took a video of this building here. I thought this is really neat. This is a glass building, brand new building, but with an old restored front to it. And I panned this building. Here it is right here. Look at that thing. So watch it move. There you go. There's the whole building right there. This is a brand new, I don't know what kind of building and what it's for, but that is not a reflection. That is actually real. You can kick that. really there. So there was some kind of a building of some kind that looked like that standing there. And what they were obviously able to do with the city council of Edinburgh, I suppose, is they gutted out the middle of the building, and or they took the facade right off, and then they preserved it and they restored it and put it back right in front of this building. It's amazing how they are trying to preserve and keep the character of the place, and yet go forward into the modern world. Quite amazing. When you walk around these places, you're in another part of the planet that you're not familiar with, and it is really interesting to see how the locals are treating their world and how they're moving down the road towards the future in their way versus how we do it in our way. It's humbling at times, interesting, fascinating. Sometimes you shake your head and go, "I can't believe they do that." Sometimes you go, "Well, that's pretty smart. That's pretty good." The whole downtown core, not the whole, but a good chunk of the downtown core here is being ripped up. They're putting in brand new trolley lines. They are expanding the downtown trolley system where you can hop on, hop off. This is going to be a wonderful thing for Edinburgh. Absolutely wonderful for tourism. Man, in 5 years from now, you come over to this place, you're gonna go, wow, this is really nice. I'm in a downtown hotel. I don't have to worry about getting a car. We just get on these little streetcars that are all around here. They're coming and going everywhere. It's all run by electricity, no diesel buses. They're eliminating the diesel around here. The cabbies have to be electric in London by 2026. All have to be electric. No more gasoline, diesel powered taxis anymore. The buses are going electric. And here in Edinburgh, they're just putting in trams. And I think it's great. I think it's absolutely fabulous. We are 2 minutes away from about to start this market. Folks are getting excited about what's happening here. Can't wait for this nice day to begin. It'll be beautiful. That's a nice blue, says Coyote. Yes, it was. It was definitely a nice blue sky, Coyote. It was really nice. Let's see if we can get this to work here. There it is. It was a nice blue sky indeed. This is a unique place. I've seen none of it yet. We won't see much of it on this trip, but it's something to come back for. I agree. Indeed. Love that building. That was awesome, says Coyote. Great mix of old and new. Anyway, this footage you're seeing that I gave you just a little glimpse of, I'm putting a video together here that'll be up hopefully tonight on my other channel. Thank you for sharing. No problem. My pleasure. Hope to have the video up later tonight or tomorrow. You'll be able to see on my Traveling with Bruce channel the arrival into Edinburgh, and also our first experience using our global Eurorail pass, good for 33 countries. Should be fun. We're about ready to open and start trading, and we're ready to go here. Cody is thumbs up number 160. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up button already, letting me know what number you are today. I do appreciate if you can hit that thumbs up button for me, please do, and let me know what number you are. Larry Titus has rung the bells. Thanks, Larry. From way over. Are you still in Portland? Because you're on the west coast of America. I'm over here on the east coast of the UK. Are we apart? Oh my gosh, are we ever apart? Larry, thanks, buddy, for hitting the thumbs up. I'm showing the Dow right now up 212 points as an early indicator. We'll see how this all kind of blurps out. Excuse me. 35-point gain on the S&P right now as well. And yeah, ME earnings in 5 days apparently. GameStop earnings June 7th, I think so. We'll see what they have to say. Oh my gosh. Anyway, what can I say? Where are we at now? Home Depot up 49 cents. We got Smart Rent up 15 pennies. Sofi is at 7.95 at the moment. We have printed 804 already on the day here. 2.9 million. We'll see how this all blurbs falls into place, but The $8 level is being threatened now by Sofi. So that's official, and that's okay. We've got Matterport up 7 cents to 5.59. We've got GameStop right now up 226. It was 101 just a moment ago. We're watching that closely as we jump about here. Let's see if I can get this to update. The high for GameStop 101.066. The low of 98.41 right now. And moving on here. Yeah, 6:30 a.m. here, says Larry. Yeah, it's early for you. It's 2:30 in the afternoon here, local time, 2:30. I've been on now for an hour, and yeah, it's the same schedule, but it's different looking everything out there and different meals and all. I'm still adjusting to this. I got to say, though, last night was one of the best nights sleep I've had in a long time. I was out last night, didn't wake up, which was a first. I actually woke up this morning and went, it's morning. I'm not up in the middle of the night. This is great. Let's see. Uncle Bruce, do you have any thoughts on Apple? Does it still have room to fall? Options Nomads wants to know. Every stock, of course, can go up and down, as we all know. The question then would be, if Apple were to drop, what would make Apple drop? Why would it go down, right? A couple of reasons why Apple could go lower would be the uncertainty of China's ability to deliver product from the plants in Apple's area. But the one thing Apple's got going for them is that they have such a product that is such a unique product. I mean, in reality, there is no competition to Apple product in the Apple sphere that no one else makes an Apple product. There's a lot of folks who make phones that compete against themselves, but Apple's phones only compete against Apple's phones because of the unique design and features that they put in. Plus the fact that Apple devices talk to other Apple devices. It's all sort of a syndicated, synchronized scenario. So when people order something from Apple and it's delayed, they just wait. They don't walk across the street to Joe Schmuck's telephone store and buy the phone over there that will work for them. That's just as good. They don't believe in just as good with the Apple brand name. So that's a positive. The company, of course, is buying back $90 billion of their own stock again this year. $7.5 billion a year of their money goes into the market to buy up their own paper. So that sort of works as a shock absorber on the downside of Apple's stock trades. They go up and down, yeah, but they don't go violently up and down. They moderate. The company only buys stock. It doesn't sell stock. So it just, buys up paper, retires it, cancels it. It doesn't trade anymore. Buys up more paper, retires it, doesn't trade anymore. So we get a lot of that. And so that's a positive. But downside, yeah, you have to say to yourself, there's a possibility the shares can have a bad week, a month, a bad quarter. Yes. How bad? Well, to have a 10 to 20% drop is the worst case scenario, would be my guess. So to drop maybe $14 to $25 is a possibility. And so if you buy the stock as a long-term hold, you're fine. My attitude on it is, if you're buying the stock on Apple for the next 3, 5 to 10 years, you'll be just fine, I think. There might be fluctuations, but it won't matter because it's a long-term hold. The odds are that the corporation will raise dividends over all those years. It only pays 0.62 of 1% right now in a dividend. It's not a dividend payer yet. They'll keep buying back stock, which will add to more upside for the stock and minimize the downside. In the last 52 weeks, the low is 123. The high is 182. There's almost a $60 spread here between low and high. That could still happen. Now, our 138 right now, we're 15 away from the low, and we're 57 or whatever it is from the high, or whatever that is. So we're closer to the low than to the high. So as a buyer, a potential buyer of the stock, this is a safe place to look to get into. Not that the low is guaranteed that it'll never go lower than the low, but the odds of the stock going much beyond a low are minimal because, again, it's a company that buys its own stock back. It is the number one world's corporation and or one of the biggest in the world. Well run, well managed, well loved. You know, for long-term investing, yeah, nothing wrong. If you're thinking of buying the shares of Apple is one thing, but if you're thinking of buying call options on Apple to be a poor man covered call writer, now you have another consideration to make. What price of a call option do you buy on Apple to use that as your weapon, as your asset to write short options against? If you buy a $120 Apple call option, which is at the moment $18 in the money, it might run you about $2,000. Right, it might cost you $2,000 because it's worth $1,800, being 18 in the money per contract. So if you buy one of them, it's $2,000. If you buy 5 of them, it's $10,000. You can now write calls against those call options. And of course, the strategy would be to write maybe 140 calls right now with the stock at 138.20. You're writing 140s that expire in 2 to 3 weeks from now, looking for premium and shrinkage. If you are to buy 10 contracts, they are $28 in the money, probably run you about $3,000. It's more expensive, but you get the extra $10 of book value. And as long as the shares stay above the 110 level, you can keep writing options. Obviously, those 120s, you're $10 closer to the 138 level, and you've got to really keep an eye on that. If you pick up $100 call options, you are now buying options at a price so low that the stock hasn't been there in the last year. It hasn't been to $100 a share in the last year at all. It has to drop $38 to get down to 100. And then you can't write options anymore. So that's a lot of protection against writing calls. But it's about a $4,000 investment, I would guess, for a contract a year out or longer, something like that. You have to check the option chains to do it. So you can spend $13,800 and buy 100 shares, or you can pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, or say $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for in the money options, not $13,800. And so if you only have a couple of grand lying around, you got like $2 or $3 lying around, and you buy a single call option on Apple, a 120, that's good till next year, that you're now writing options on, you're writing options against a $2,000 investment. Congratulations. If you've got a little more money, you can buy the 110 contract. You got a little more money, you buy the 100. If you have $13,800 and it's the decision of whether to buy 100 shares of stock or buy contracts, with $13,800, you can almost buy 7 contracts with a 120 strike price, which means you could write 7 contracts at a time versus buying 100 shares of Apple and writing 1 contract at a time. If you buy the 110s for about $3,000 each, you can buy about 4 of those. And if you buy the 100s instead, and they're about $4,000 a piece, you can buy about 3 of those. So you'll figure out how many contracts you can buy in each case, depending on how much money you have. If you want to become self-employed, you want to work for a boss ever again, you want to be your own boss, and you want to decide, that's it, I'm going to write options for a living. I'm going to write options to make enough money on to pay all my bills. You have to ask yourself, how much money do I need to have? And what should I do with it? And one of the thoughts is, do I buy Apple shares or Apple options to write calls against? And if so, which ones? And how many would I need to do what it is I want to do? Well, if you did buy January or February or March or April next year out, calls against Apple, you bought call options, let's say 100s, and you paid about $4,000 for them, ballpark. How many do you need to make a living from them? And there's the proverbial question. And if I take a look at June contracts, this being May the 20th, we're near the end of the month here, 2/3 of the way in. If you were to write June contracts on April, just to kind of play this out, here we are. The stock right now, as I speak, has gone up a little bit. It's 139 now. It was 138 when I started talking about this. But if you were to write 145 contracts, which are $6 ahead of this market, you could write for June, the third Friday in June, which would be June 17. You could write 145 contracts and probably bring in around $2.65, maybe $2.70 a contract, 270 bucks per contract. That's between now and June the 13th, which is not quite a month from now. So $270 coming in per contract. How much money do you need a month to live on? If you need $5,400 a month to live on, for example, this is gross before deductions and taxes and everything else. So again, you got to figure out your own taxes. Some of you, this is capital gains taxes. Some of you, it's income. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever. But if 5,400 gross can cover your household, you got to write 20 of these contracts, because writing one gets you $270. Writing two gets you $540. Writing 20 gets you $5,400. Now, assuming you wrote 20 of these contracts and they expired worthless. In other words, the stock didn't go over 145 by next June the 13th. You could keep all $5,400. And that's money into your account. Well, in order to do that, you need to have 20 in-the-money call options to write the 20 call options I just discussed. And to have $20 call options at $4,000 each, that's an $80,000 investment. So you need 80 grand to buy 20 Apple $100 calls, good till next year, that you can write these 20 contracts on and bring in $5,400 until next June the 13th. There's a basic idea. So under $100,000 could theoretically bring you enough money to live on for the whole month, just writing Apple 145s. There's an idea right there. Now, if you were to write the 145s and the shares were to drop to 135 next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, these contracts might drop $1 in value, $1.25 in value very quickly. You could buy them back because you have $5,400 cash in that account. You buy them back for $2,500 less, $1.25 a piece. You've got $2,500 cash sitting in your account from that $5,400 left over. Shares go back up a few days later, back to 139 where they are now, something like that. And you write these again for another 270 all over again. You bring in another $5,400. And if in the next few days after you did that, the shares back off a little bit, they're kind enough to fluctuate for you a little bit lower. You could buy these calls back again, make another $1.25. And you've done 2 consecutive rollovers where you've sold them, bought them back, sold them, bought them back. You got $5 grand in your account, $2,500 the first time, $2,500 the second time. Shares go back up the third time. You write them yet again. And this time the shares just kind of sit there and the options just flitter away in value as each day goes by. And they come out to nothing. You buy them back for maybe a quarter towards the end of their lifetime. You scored 250 on those calls. That's $5 grand. You've already made $5 grand over here. You've actually made $10,000 between today and the 13th of June on an investment of $80,000. And you may find that, yeah, we need like, 5,500 of that we need to live on. The rest we just leave that in the account. And if we have enough money, if we have $4 grand or so left over, we could buy another call. We could have 21 of them now. Now we can write 21 contracts at a time. And now you're growing your portfolio. So now you're writing 21 $2.70 contracts or whichever contracts you're going to write going forward. Now you're looking at July contracts. And then you're looking at August contracts. And then you're looking at September. You're just constantly moving forward. That's what a lot of folks do here on this channel. They do that, but they learn how to do that through here, through me, or through the classes, and through me, and through the folks over here. Welcome to the party, pal. Options nomads, did that answer your question? The shares can drop. Yes, they can. They can also go up, and right now they're 139.66, and so they've gone up $1.66 while I've started this entire talk about these contracts and this whole thing. But yes, they can go lower and they can go higher, no doubt about it. By the way, the Dow is up 211 points right now. We got S&P up 34, and we got NASDAQ up 120. The NASDAQ's up 1%, the S&P's up 0.89, the Dow's up 0.70 of a percentage point. We got Smart Rent up 20 cents. We have SoFi at 763 to tease us this morning. It opened at 8 and now it's 763, just to give it to us. So we'll have to tolerate it. You buy low and you sell higher. So now it's buy time again. Matterport, 552 down 1 penny. GameStop at $100.01 a share, up 82 cents. AMC up down 12. ATIP up a half a penny. Rocket Lab down a dime. Sextera up 9 cents. ME up 1 penny. ME down a penny. Spire down a penny. Pfizer up 156 to 52.22. HPQ up down 61 cents to 35.12. That's been an interesting week. Twitter 71 cents higher to $38. Who else here? Robinhood up 19 cents to 10.40. Vanik Vectors up 149 to 229. IBM down 60 cents to 129.10. Microsoft up 429. Apple up 217 to 139.52. Good time to be writing Apple 145. Goldman Sachs up $1.40 to 309. 309.60. Cisco up 91 cents to 42.63. Facebook up $5 to 196. Amazon up 29 bucks. Tesla down 4.94. Google up $23. Bed Bath Beyond down 12. BlackBerry up a dime. Royal Caribbean is actually up down 1 penny. It was just up a few. It's now down a penny. We got Target down 44 cents. JP Morgan up 15. Costco still down 266 today. It's still negative. Walmart up 42 cents at 149.49. Nvidia down 2.99. Disney at 103. Down. It's up 19 cents at 103. We've got American Airlines up 2 cents to 16.77. Netflix at 184, up $1.22. They are now laying off people apparently. And Moderna down 278. So there's some interesting info right there. A 173 gain on the Dow. Not much to get excited about. 768 on SoFi, down 7 cents this morning. With Smart Rent up 13. Moderna down 4. People outside our door. What else is going on right now? Oh my God, ATIP says Jennifer Smith, down 2 cents to 182. Let's see. Here we go. John is thinking that the battle for the $8 battle on SoFi will be won by the dark side today. He is thinking. Let's see. Matterport in the red. Apple will only drop if the large holders need to free up capital, says Dave the Mac guy. Wavy gravy. I'm also looking to buy back my bad SoFi stink offers at 46 cents. And let's see. SoFi profit taking, perhaps. And let's see. Rob is saying to Nazareth, oh yeah, keep in mind, 2 weeks ago, the stock was under $5. Those who bought there have almost doubled their money. Why wouldn't they sell some? And let's see. What else have we got here? Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Nice to have you. We have a lot of $8 contracts expiring today. That's possibly true, too. Options Nomad. Thanks for that extremely thorough answer on Apple. I actually have been thinking about opening some more poor man covered calls on Apple, so I appreciate your insight. Yeah, I think it's a great move. I really do. I think writing poor man covered calls on Apple is a good move. If you can buy the lower priced calls, I would do it. The lower, more in the money, the better. That's the way I look at it. If you can buy 100s, 110s, that's where I'd really prefer anybody go. Get lots of protection on a downside bad week, and if the shares want to go higher, beautiful, because then these calls go up in value too, and that's beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. but you can make some money on these. If you can write a 270 call on an investment of $4,000 every month, I mean, let's say you clear $2 every month on this strategy where you write them, buy them back, write them, buy back. You only clear $2, but you only put up 4,000 to get it. You're clearing 5% a month on your money. That's 60% a year clear on your money. Nothing wrong with that. Now, if you can make $4 a month because you write them, you buy them back, you write them again, you buy them back, 3-4 transactions a month, it adds up to $4 a month net profit. That's 10% a month on your money. So $80,000 invested for that fictitious person out there who wants to know, can I be self-employed? Can I quit my day job if I have $100,000? Well, 80,000 can go into these contracts, 20 of them, and you're now making $4 profit times 20 contracts. That's $8,000 net per month. That's pretty good. Yeah, doable. Okay. BW says, Uncle Bruce, if cash is tight, would buying call options on Matterport, buying a call option on June 2023, $5 calls for 240 be good, but stink bid them much lower. 100 shares will be 5-ish, but 200 in the call will be the same cost per your thought. Yeah, again, I'm not sure which one we're talking about here. We got, okay, I'm trying to read this message. I'm trying to understand. Are you talking about buying a $5 call option on Matterport? Is that what you're talking about doing there? The stock's 556. And if you are talking about buying a $5 call option on Matterport, are you talking about paying $240 for it? That I don't think is a good idea. I would rather just buy the stock and not own the contract if it's that expensive. Swiss Butter is so huge. Drop on Dow and NASDAQ, and SoFi goes way up. Green Day and SoFi is meh. Tells me some investors see SoFi as a safe place to put money. It's turning. It's turning the right direction. It's only down a penny now, 774 on SoFi. The dip might be over. Michael Austin wrote them yesterday for 17 cents, bought them back today for 3 cents. Powder time, laughing out loud. Well played, says Austin. I'm glad you're out, says John. I was lucky, says Mike. Let's scare those eights. Paper it, says Duncan. So SoFi now 775, unchanged. The Dow up 163. We got Smart Rent up 11. SoFi at 0 flat. Matterport now up a nickel. It's also green. GameStop 143 to the good at $100.24. The GameStop range today has been, hang on a second. I got to come back in here. Sorry, I'm on my old quote. GameStop range today, high and low, has been 102.41 for the high, 98.40 for the 41 for the low. A $4 spread between high and low on the GameStop today. And we're currently at $100 and 59 cents, up 140. There you go. Dow up 179. S&P up 30. NASDAQ up 114. Okay. All right. Let's go. Yes, says BW. Buy a June 2023 $5 strike call options. Okay, that's too high for premium, even out to June of next year. Got it. Yeah, I think so, my friend. When you're paying $2-something, like $2.40 on a contract that's only worth 60 cents, that's $1.80 premium, you're better off buying just the stock itself, because it's a 560 stock, and your call at 240. You need this thing to go up. You need the stock to reach 740, and you're even, like you're just breaking even on that contract, right? Because that's all your contract is worth, is 240 when the stock is 740. Where if you buy the stock at 560, it goes to 740, you're up $1.80. I mean, you're up 30+% on your money. Buy the stock. Yeah, absolutely. SoFi started going after the reverse split possibility. It's 777, up 2 cents right now. Good volume on SoFi makes me happy. Coyote, I got some nice muscle definition going in these crossed arms of mine. There you go. Nice, Mike. Now, Sofi can take off. You're flat. You're okay. Don't worry about those options. Karim, I understand your thesis on the Apple contract, but if there's more pain and China lockdown, Apple could drop further, putting your deep call in a tight position. This is why I say, Karim, if you buy the 100s, you've got $38, $39 of protection, right? You're writing, in the meantime, you're writing call after call after call. Keep in mind, right? If you've written a 145, the stock goes down to 135 and those calls are worthless, you buy it back, you now write 140s. The stock goes to 131, your calls are worthless, you buy them back for next to nothing, you've made more money on them. Now you're writing 130s. Stock goes down again, you're buying them back, writing 125s. You just keep writing and writing and writing. So the stock goes to 105. Let's just say it did. Pure speculation, down $34. You've probably scored $25 in premiums on your contracts. You're down $9, like you've lost $9, right? And that's a catastrophic fall, right? Now the shares hover this between 105 and 115 for months. You're writing 110s, 115s. You're just writing. You're still bringing in money. Now you're bringing in more money than you've lost, so you're actually ahead financially on the whole enchilada. If the shares slowly creep back into 115 to 120 to 125 level, and you're now writing 130s and 135s, you might be down $10 on your calls, but you're up $40 on all the options you've written. See what I mean? If the shares just break even by the time those first calls come up to expiring, stock's back to 140-ish or something like that, you get back what you paid for the calls, and you keep all the premium you made in the meantime. So you're way up. There you go. Okay. Anybody watching Tesla run? I haven't been watching it. Is it running? What is Tesla doing right now? It's sitting here at 698. It's running the wrong direction. That's what it's doing. 145 on the Dow now, 155 gain on the Dow. We're up 6 on Smart Rent. We're up 3 on SoFi to 778. Matterport up 12 cents. GameStop up 133. Okay. I Smell Currency is here saying, I'm thumbs up number 188. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the party, pal. Glad to have you here. We've got 157 thumbs ups from what I can see. Let me just double check this. Refresh my thing here. 190 thumbs ups now on my refresh. 193. Fantastic, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and being here. Appreciate it. And the thumbs ups are great. Do appreciate that as well. Okay, guys. Good stuff. Do you guys get a lot of commercials when you try to watch me live? I'm kind of curious to know how many commercials are coming in on you, and who's advertising to you. I have a suspicion that the ad numbers are rising on these live broadcasts, that before you get to see me, that you're being hit with an ad or 2 ads, like a 15-second mandatory and then a 5-second ad you can get rid of or something like that. I'm kind of curious. Anyway, love to know if you are able to tell me that. Anyway, what else? Uncle Bruce, why are the GameStop calls rising in price, although the stock price is largely the same as 2 days ago? Is the time decay being offset by the delta? Wing Commander, there could be a number of excuses for this or reasoning for it. It might be, though, that as options expire out today, of course, next week's, the weeks after, become more prevalent in the trading with the gamblers. They now move into those and they start bidding those higher just because there's a greater demand to get in and play the contract. Or June 7th, we have financials, 7th or 8th. Maybe the closer we get, the more the hype builds and we get more premium built. That could be happening too. Ad blockers, Bruce, I'm sorry. No problem, Michael. It's all good. Only the beginning, says Cindy. I only get ads at the beginning. That's what I thought too. No commercials, just when you log on. No ads here. I get a lot of Norwegian cruise ads commercials, says Jason. Coyote. I don't get a lot of ads during before. I turned off my ad blocker for AMB. DC, a lot of anti-gen commercials lately. DH, just once when I start, tons of garbage ads, aren't they all? And let's see, only when refreshing, but I can bypass it, says Jennifer. I get a lot of Levo ads, but those might be because I'm a pothead, says Swiss Butter. Robert says, as long as I don't get Yoko Ono ads, I'm okay. Yeah. Splur, I have no premium, but I get every time the same ads from brokers I don't want or I already have, and mostly I watch them until the end. But I get them now 3 times a day due to your 3 videos. Once your ad is running for 5 or 8 seconds, if you can click it off, just click it off. You're not costing me anything, honestly. Just click them off if you don't want to watch them, and join the show. It's okay with me. Sometimes when I leave and I come back, I watch another ad. Jason and Vibo commercials with Kermit singing "I'm Right Where I Belong." Kiwi, no ads here. I have a YouTube Premium. Duncan, I don't have any ads left. Olivia, I get ads on mobile. Lame Duck, first ad, one ad, first log on. Wing Commander, no ads for me. YouTube Premium. Duncan, YouTube Premium, and first. Those of you who have YouTube Premium, I thank you all because you guys make me more money from YouTube if you have YouTube Premium. 50, how does that work? 55% of the YouTube Premium money that you pay YouTube goes to the creators. And that's similar to with advertising. 55% of all the advertising money that is spent by advertisers goes to creators. And so when you're watching me on Premium, you're spending so many minutes with me every day you're watching me. Well, at the end of the month, YouTube figures out how many minutes of all the minutes you were on YouTube did you spend with me. And if you spend with me 10% of your YouTube time, for example, just to use an easy mathematical equation, and you're spending, I don't know, you're spending $10 a month for Premium, let's say, then $550 of the premium comes to the creator, and I get 10% of your $550 because you're spending 10% with me, 10% of all your YouTube time. I get 55 cents from you through YouTube every month. And if you watch me every day and you get these ads, I might get off of you a half a penny a day, a quarter of a penny a day. But with Premium, you're giving me 55 cents in a month. And usually you're watching me 20 times a month because the weekends I generally don't do anything. So you might be watching me only 20 times in a month. And that's 2.7 cents a day. So you're giving me 2 3/4 cents every day you watch me just by buying Premium. And so those of you who switch to Premium, you're making me more money. And of course, you get better experiences from YouTube. No ads, and you get the music player or whatever else they're offering you, obviously. So thank you all for that. But I keep getting ads for Welch's Grape Jelly and Sherman's Bagels. I have no idea why. Why do these people talk to me all the time? Wayne, got to jump to a different call. We'll rejoin later. Have fun, simpletons. Thank you, Wing Commander. Preparation Age, says Mallow. I keep seeing extreme weight loss commercials. How do they know I'm struggling with my tummy? John, looks like 775 is where they want Sofi to be today. We're at 772 right now. Oh dear, Mallow, says Jennifer. Option, no man. YouTube Premium, no ads, and ability to download videos to watch offline, and YouTube music streaming service equals a pretty good deal. We have the family plan. There you go, Elaine. 5-second click off. Duncan, tampons, fresh ads. This player, I literally forget to click them anyway because I started already to clean some little spaces. Vernon, getting ads at the beginning and a few during the show. YouTube Premium here too. Larry, YouTube thinks I'm lonely. I get an ad for something called Friends Online or something like that. W says, I got Premium, man. GameStop is dipping, says Duncan. Right now, $99.99. H. Gregory, YouTube Premium for me as well, Uncle B. When I start to have more cash after August, I will start with Premium, maybe already a month earlier. Heavy volume on SoFi first half hour with virtually no movement, says Austin. Vernon, car ads, gold, and various stock market ads pushing charting software. Dave, Premium all the way. Ain't no one. I got no time for ads, baby. Breakfast time, says Duncan. Right on. Thank you all very much. We're on the Dow right now, up 147. Smart Rand up 2 cents. SoFi 774 down 1. Matterport up 17 cents to 569. GameStop up 70 cents, 99.89. AMC down 20 cents. ATIP unchanged. Rocket Lab down 9.9 cents. Xterra up 17 cents. ME up 7.5 cents. Spire down 1.5. Pfizer up 196 today to 52.60. HPQ 69 cents lower at 35.04. Twitter down 34 cents to 37.63. Where else are we at right now? Robinhood here up 3 cents. Vanik up 99. Make that up 113 on Vanik Vectors. IBM down 81. Microsoft up 381. Apple up 238 to 139.73. Goldman Sachs up 183. Cisco up 59 cents. Facebook up 526. Amazon up $41. Tesla down $15 to 694. Google up 20 bucks. At the moment, that's where we got this market going, guys. Up 129 on the Dow Jones Industrial. Swiss butter. I actually like some of the ads. When ads were TV only, small businesses didn't have the cash to advertise with YouTube. Small business can share their product, which quite a few good products. Any daring to write SoFi calls today? How far up are you looking? Asked BW. Oscar, I sold my house and ended up with $500,000. What is a safe investment, or just open a 2% CD for 2 years? Yeah, well, there you go. You got to decide what kind of risk tolerance you have, and how old you are now, and whether you need income. Whether you want to, are you going to buy another house? Are you just going to rent now? What are your future cash needs? You got a lot to go over here. And then, how attentive are you with the market? Do you want to be an option writer, Oscar? Do you want to write options on stock, bring in income? It sounds like you need a one-on-one. That sounds to me, that's what you need. Duncan, Bruce, any thoughts on Golden Bagel Show? Nothing at the moment. At the moment, it's just traveling, setting up, traveling, setting up, traveling, just trying to get through it. Just set up in Edinburgh yesterday, and here we are. We're working. Gowdy says to BW, I wrote a January 23 for 91 cents, 12.50s. He's saying I guess on SoFi. And here we go. BW says subprime loans are defaulting for auto sales and are way up and hit all-time high in February. It's only going to get worse. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. Cindy, BW, I'm buying my SoFi calls back right now. Yikes, that one was scary, and I lost some cash. If you sell any, don't go all in. My nerves can't take this. That's why I'd say not a good idea to sell SoFi calls. The 7.5s right now. We're even these 8s. We're threatening to break through 8 at any time. SoFi can jump a buck a day now. It could, and you just don't want to get caught on the wrong side of this. You want to let the capital gains come your way all the way, and then write calls later down the road. When we have a little more breathing room right now. Let's go. Yeah, SoFi cost average is 8.98, so 12.50 sounds pretty sweet to me. Duncan, Cindy, average down. The Splair, SoFi makes me again a little sad. Where are we at now? We're only up 27 on the Dow. We've given up some ground here. We're up 9 on S&P, and we're up 29 on Nasdaq. But all three indexes have backed off. They all were higher. Now we are coming up to 21 minutes to the end of the European trading day, and it'll be interesting to see if right now we're getting Europeans selling out as their week ends now. And are we going to get a push higher once the Americans are alone and it's only American investors, or the American market's only trading? We're going to find out here. Lots to watch for, okay? Michael, I get a little impatient with SoFi with the amount of calls that I can write. So many, but I get impatient. I hear you there. Market-wide sell-off right now, says Nazareth. I feel like I'm leaving money on the table if I don't write. Rob, 12.50 plus 91, exactly 13.41 you're taking off the table. Theoretically, you could buy SoFi right now at 6.72 and then write this call that Michael is writing and lock in that kind of a game. You can always play that game. Kind of weird. Rocket Lab below Smart Rent and Matterport. Kind of weird. What can I say? Rocket Lab right now is 4.52. That is kind of weird, down 22 cents. Kind of weird. We're up 36 on the Dow right now. Okay. The premium on SoFi options is so juicy that my average is just above 6. It's really hard to say no to writing, says FL. There you have it. Just be careful you don't get caught out. That's just it. It would be a shame to lose a $5 up move after being here for so long and giving all that away for a few pennies. Must be careful. GameStop 98.80 down 37 cents. We're turning red a little bit here at the moment. Matterport is still up 7 cents. Smart Rent down a nickel. SoFi down 7 to 768. GameStop 98.68. AMC is red. ATIP is -3. Rocket Lab down 21. Six Stairs just up 4. ME up 3. Spire down a penny. Pfizer still holding a 182 gain right now. That's what we got going on. That's what we got going on. All right. Coyote, Rob, exactly. Uncle Bruce, yogurt today. Had some earlier. Had yogurt earlier. I only have a tiny position because I wanted to ride with the cool kids, says FL. Michael, I've been almost caught twice already. I do believe you, Bruce, but I don't trust you. There you go. Hey, I believe you. I still don't trust you. There it is. Oh my, oil is up 51 cents to 112.72. No real drop off happening at this point. And it is a Friday after all. We are grinding out the Friday here for the last day this week. What can I say? It is what it is. The markets do what they do the way they do it. Thank you for 212 thumbs ups, you guys. Awesome support. Appreciate this. It's really nice of you. You're there for me, and I appreciate it. Oh, taking a look here. What else is happening out there? Headline in the Wall Street Journal: U.S. stocks trade higher after recent run of sell-offs. S&P 500 is on track to close down for the seventh straight week. Seventh straight week. Surging dollar raises possibility of euro parity. Headline. And, well, we'll find out. As far as the interest rates go, the 10-year note, the U.S. 2.84, Germany 0.95, UK 1.91. There you are. And on currency, the euro is 105.4, the pound 124.6. They're both a little lower today. Headline: China unexpectedly cuts key rate as growth crumbles. And there it is. They want to bring relief to their markets, their economy. Interesting. Mm. What else is going on here? Deere profit rises despite supply chain challenges, the equipment maker. Headlines. Any other headlines? U.S. home sales cool amid higher rates and record prices. Kind of expecting that. Coca-Cola is introducing bottles with caps that stay attached. I guess to fight individual pieces of plastic. There you go. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, not much else in the way of headlines. Just looking at the headlines on Wall Street Journal. Not a ton today. Let's see here. Mm, 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 mm. Rob says, I made a small boo boo. I sold 5 calls on SoFi yesterday, $8 for only 38 cents. Then, of course, it ran and my heart sank. I was able to buy them back at 42, so small loss, but I've learned my lesson. Splitter, somehow I think now about the shawarma bagel I had at Coffee Fellows. Let's see. Let's see. John, my average is 11.21 on SoFi for January 2023. 11 calls are 115. I'm tempted. And Bart, Uncle Bruce, any suggestion for an Apple covered call? Did talk about that earlier today. Went into that quite a bit. Mm, um, don't know anything about this, Karim. I don't know what you're talking about there. Let's see. Options nomads. About 30 minutes ago, I wrote some Apple covered calls. 5, 147 expiring June 30, 134, and 2, 145 expiring June 10th at 264. There you go. There you go. Writing some calls on Apple. Right on. And Apple right now is sitting at where are we at right now? There we are. 138.83. They hit a high today of 140.48. That was as high as the Apple shares got. Now 138.83, and here we've written 147s and 145s. Nicely out of the money. Beautiful. And those premiums are coming your way. There's going to be a chunk coming your way, I think. No doubt about it. If a call, AB wants to know if a call option expires worthless, are there any option closing fees associated with it, or is it just expired and that's no closing cost? Shouldn't be any costs at all. None. Should be none. The thing that I try to mention to people is if there are a couple of days left to go, like if the option, say it's a Wednesday and they die on Friday, and they're out of the money and they're trading for like virtually nothing. They're like 1 to 5 cents or zero bid offered at 5 cents. I would put in 1 or 2 penny bids if you don't pay a commission to buy them back on a Wednesday. Why? Because you can immediately write another call now for maybe the next week, Friday. So that gives you 7 days of trading premium rather than waiting until Friday for them to die and then writing a new call on Monday. You've lost 3, 4 days of time. That means you're giving away maybe 30, 40 cents of shrinkage that you can be taking advantage of by just buying these things back for a couple of pennies and get it over with and write a new fresh set of contracts that will depreciate instead of appreciating 60 cents or 80 cents, they depreciate $1.20 or whatever the number is. Michael, AB, fees are collected when you write. If it expires worthless, there is no fee. Jason, when's the last time Uncle Bruce has had a bagel? When is the last time Uncle Bruce had a bagel? Yeah, when did I last have a bagel? Oh my God, I can't remember. I'm having trouble right now. And Bruce, Uncle Bruce, any thoughts on the 11s? Yeah, 11 SoFi's. I mean, Nothing wrong with it. Nothing vehemently wrong with it. It's just make sure that there's enough volume on them. Is there enough open interest that they trade? Is there a good liquid market, or is the bid ask a mile apart? That might want to hold you back. Keep an eye open for those kinds of things. SoFi 768. So they take you out 11 plus a premium. Nice going. All right. AB. Thanks, Michael. H. Gregory, if you buy back under 5 cents, no fees for that with TD Ameritrade. There you go. Not sure about other brokers, those, H. Gregory says. There are exercise fees usually, though, so watch out there. H. Gregory, same for Fidelity, no charge. Wavy Gravy, Rob Ditto, sold mine at 46 cents. I bought them back earlier at 51. I think we should have some powder for this afternoon. H. Gregory, thumbs ups. Austin, Michael, what are you doing with the 14 hundo? More SoFi shares? Michael, maybe new microwave. Rob, Wavy probably would have been okay with it if I sat tight, but it's just not worth it for me at this time to write on SoFi. I just bought back my 110s on GameStop. I sold yesterday for 10.35 for 9.15, crossing my arms. BW. Uncle Bruce was adding up. I was adding up the call options for SoFi today. If they keep this under 650, 220,000 expire worthless today. Just buy the stock. Now I know no matter port calls for me, no matter how far out. There you are. John, no open interest. Thanks, Uncle B. There's that. Yeah, see, I'd be skeptical about those. Nice laugh out loud, says Michael. AB, but if it expires worthless, nobody's exercised, right? So therefore no fee. Yes. Michael was melting butter last night to add to my wing sauce, and it just died. Wavy Gravy. Yep, I'm too scared to write on GameStop right now. Seems NFT market is about to be revealed. Michael says to AB, you are correct. Mirko, Tesla was kicked out of the S&P 500 ESG, environmental, social, and governance, but Exxon is in the top 10 in that index. I'm not into Tesla, but that is a joke. Dave, the Mac guy. I'm not afraid of running against SoFi. I'll keep my actual long gains in my SoFi leaps instead. There you go. 13-point gain on the Dow. That's all. We're still up 7 on S&P and 22 on NASDAQ. Home Depot down 560. We're up a penny on Matterport. Unchanged on SmartRent. Down 8 on SoFi. GameStop down 50 cents. AMC down 36. ATIP down 3. Rocket Lab down 18 cents. Cyxtera up half a penny. Pardon me. Where am I? Up a nickel on Cyxtera. ME unchanged. Spire down a penny. Pfizer up 179, holding a nice gain. HPQ down 84 cents. What do we got here? Robinhood 1013 down 8. Bannock up 11 cents. IBM down $1. Microsoft up 240. Apple up 111. Goldman up 82. Cisco up 47. Facebook is up 483. Amazon up 29. Tesla down 27. Google down 191. So mixed markets. The Dow now only up 3.9. Coyote. So many calls expire in the dirt. Think of all the calls bought in November. All the optimism is oppressively crushed. That's right. That's it. These gamblers get crushed, and you right. Michael, wife got a new hot sauce, TRUFF, really good, but not super hot. Benches with Duncan, guys, we're hanging in there. Michael, I just used Frank's and melted butter. The air fryer, the wings, they come out solid. Rocket Lab, nice buy, right there. Okay, there you go, kids. Rocket Lab 458 down 17 cents. Dow's up 19.8 points at the moment. Right on. Welcome one, welcome all to the channel. Hope you're getting ready for a good weekend this weekend. It is Friday here in Edinburgh. We're a little unsettled today. Cloudy, showery, and then sunny and cloudy. A little of everything. A little windy here. That's typical apparently for Edinburgh. But we're hanging right in there. Jen and I are. This hotel has a swimming pool and has a steam room and a sauna. I'm about to experiment there between these shows, see how they work out. I could sure use some relief on all my aches and pains, all this schlepping about yesterday. Yesterday was the first time that Jen and I traveled within Europe where, we're taking a train. We have two large suitcases, two smaller ones, all with wheels. But with Jennifer's mobility issues, I am stuck with the two big ones and one of the small ones. And so it's hard work getting around, but we are doing it. But getting him onto the train wasn't a big deal. We got our bags on the train fairly simply in sort of stages. I sort of said to Jen, you go in first and just stand inside the car there, and then I'll bring up the suitcases one by one, and then we'll bring him into the compartment or. And in first class, there's a rack for big suitcases, and we had no trouble finding room for two of our big ones. Our little ones, we just put up on top over our heads on a rack up there. No. And let's see if we're back. And they didn't move at all. Smooth ride. And then we got off the train. Same in reverse. Just brought them back out. And of course, train stations have nice, hard, smooth floors, easy to roll your bags. And we literally walked from the train station here in Edinburgh to this hotel. We walked it, where I dragged the bags behind me. And we got into the hotel, no problem. And that's how we did it. So it's our first experience traveling with the bags without the airport experience, which is a pleasure. No security checks. Don't have to take your shoes off. Go through the radar detector, whatever that crap is. And didn't have to open up our computer bag, and it was great. It was really great, and it was easy peasy, and great service. Nice ride, gorgeous views. It was a pleasure. There's somebody out there. We went from downtown London to downtown Edinburgh. Beautiful, no problem. Although I will admit, we took a cab from our hotel in London to our King's Cross station. We had to do that. We could have gone the subway route, the tube, but with the bags and with Jennifer's hip, no way. There was no way that was going to happen. And unfortunately, the station that we're next to in London had stairs. And so we knew, oh yeah, we're taking the cab. And so it was £30 to do it, but right to the drop-off area at the railway station. Perfect. It was, and a pleasurable chat with the cabbie again, which was just a treat. So it was all right. Anyway, there you go. Let me just see what else is going on here. Rob says, my $25 ATIP calls I bought a long time ago expire today. And let's see. Spa. What is that word? Is that short for spaghetti? Cindy, Uncle Bruce, I had five $10 Sofi calls I bought a long time ago. Quite a bit down. I just rolled them all to 750s for April 2023. Thought this might be a good time. Cost me $555. I feel a little safer. I think you're doing the right move there for sure. Cindy, how many are you doing? Karim, 4 bags. Do you guys have lots of stuff? Well, we're here for 2 months and a week. We're here for quite a bit of time. And so we're traveling with less than we did the California trip. But, we're not backpackers. We're seniors with a few items, but we're doing okay. It's fine. Anyway. Cindy, Rob, my 250 ATIP call expires today, $141 loss. And let's see. Just remember, Bruce, you're a big deal and globally known. So why are the locals not flocking your way to offer your immediate assistance everywhere you go? Jen calling out, don't you know who this guy is? I mean, come on. Gee whiz. My Spire, Michael, my Spire $2 calls I bought a while ago expired today too. They can't all be winners. Cindy, Adventures with Duncan. Sometimes I feel like I'm treading water level. Got to get out of margin for sure. Absolutely. There you go. We're at 99.30 on the GameStop. That's up 11 again. It's come back. It was lower. Let's take a look here. The GameStop shares hit a low of 97.41. They're now 99.30. They've recovered a bit here, about a $2, almost a $2 bump back. We're up 5.7 on the Dow. Make it 17 on the Dow right now. So a little higher on the Dow, not by much though, just a fraction. We got Matterport up 15 cents. We've got Smart Rent up a dime. We have SoFi down 1 penny, and GameStop up a quarter at the moment, 99.44. So it's not a bloodbath. It's not a big give back or anything like that. I think we're going higher. I think we might go higher on the day. This market is reluctant to go lower. It's really reluctant to go lower. Anyway, there you have it. What else we got here? We got ATIP down a half a penny. Rocket Lab down 12 cents. It's at 462. It was as low as 450. So Rocket Lab has come back 12.5 cents here. 1.69 million, and it's down 12.5 cents. So it's halfway back from its low of the day at the moment. Cyxtera now up 9 cents. ME is positive, up a nickel now at 2.97. Spire down a half a cent. So, all right, not a bad day at all, really. We're up 25 on the Dow, 13 on S&P, 64-point gain on NASDAQ. Slight gains at the moment. But Europe is ending its day here, coming out of the European markets. And so we're into the last 27 minutes, I think, here, or something like that. Then it's the U.S. by itself, and we might be, we might be going higher. It is what it is. Right on, guys. There we go. The Dow up 16. Matterport now up 15. Smart Rent up 11. SoFi down a penny. GameStop 99.22 up 3 cents. Okay. Answering your question about ads, Uncle Bruce, says Cody. I only get one ad at the start. The ads themselves are basically all for financial products. They stopped targeting that Uncle Cliff ad, thankfully. Yeah, I know that was such an annoying looking ad. It was so stupid. But what are you going to do? It passed through some levels to get up there. I don't know who would spend money to do it, but someone did. But yeah, I do notice that the ads on my channel before I begin the show are about financial services offered by others. Z Estate, ATIP purchased on the show when they hired the new CEO is up 13%. So that's what ATIP has done since the new CEO's come in. Rob might want to write those 110s again for June the 10th on GameStop. They're back up to about $10. Maybe a stink offer of 11, 12. Might not be a bad move, buddy. Might be just fine. 110s, yeah, sure. It's 199.03 on GameStop. Margin is spreading on bagels, says Duncan. Rob, not much volume on them. Not much open interest on them at those either, though. European markets just closed, right? Not quite, but soon. I think they close in about 20 minutes. Nick, hey, Uncle Bruce, I bought a June 3rd $7 straddle on SoFi for $1.07. I'm in the money, but how do I maximize my profit on this trade? You just got to do the math here. You got to figure out the timing. When these expire, what kind of shrinkage are you still going to get on these, and then figure out your upside. There is a free program out there. I can't rattle it off right now. Maybe one of you can help Nick here, but there is a website where you can type in your trade, like your spread, and it'll show you a chart of maximum profit and loss between prices of the stock and the timing. You might want to look for that, but you do a Google search for option spreads, option spread tables or something, or option spread calculator. You may come across some of these sites that allow you to enter your two trades, and then you'll see the potential gain and losses depending on what the stock does for you. Zed battling or batting the thumbs up. I'm number 222. Thank you, buddy. Options calculator, isn't that what that is? Is it optionscalculator.com or something like that? Is that right? There's one of those out there, and you can play with those all day long with all kinds of examples and ideas. Options calculator, I think is what it is. We're down 4.8 on the Dow right now. 4.8. And we're still up 8 on the S&P, and we're still up 43 on NASDAQ. So it's just the Dow that's gone negative so far. Okay. Michael, there's a bunch of them. That's right. I know there's options calculators, other. You just need to do Google searches, and you'll find a bunch of them that'll pop up, and then you can check them out yourself. Some might be laced with ads. Some might be a lot easier to use. Keep in mind on that, of course. What are we at now? We're up 9 on the Matterport to 561. Smart Rent is at 530, up 8 cents. We got Sofi at 767, down 8 cents right now. GameStop 98.95, down 24. Some of you have written options the last couple of days. You're watching closely to see if the stock backs off today, whether you buy them back or not today. Of course. AMC is down 39 cents to 12.60 or 12.70 now. Yeah, down 39 cents. ATIP off a half a penny. Rugged Lab down 14 cents. Cyxtera down 9. ME down is actually up 4 cents. Cyxtera up 9. ME up 4. Spire down a half a penny. There you are. Okay. Dow down 15.91. Uncle Bruce, miraculous. I bought 4 in the money calls at $45 on Cisco for October about 2 months ago. They're at the money now. I never even got to write against them. Am I just going along for the ride now? What do you think I'm doing? Well, okay, you can stay where you are and just do nothing and see if the shares come back up again as they recover somewhat. You can play that game. They're at 42.02 right now, unfortunately, so you're out of the money. Or you could turn around and buy October 40s, selling these and pay the difference. Or you sell these and buy January 40s or 38s or like whatever you can underneath. Go further out, buy in the money calls, and start writing right now. The question is this: if you can buy a $40 call for October and sell this call, and the difference is $250 on a contract. Just hear me out. Let's say you do 4 of them. Okay, it's a $250 difference between the two. That's $1,000. But now you can write 4 options on the 40s. Can you write 4 options that expire a month from now? That would be maybe 43s. And can you bring in $1.50 in premium for like a month out? That's $1.50 of the $250 cost to roll into 40s. See what I'm getting at? So can you get into the money and get some of that money back by writing calls right now that have only got 2 or 3 weeks to live? Enjoy a premium gain there, and then do another write again, and get the rest of it. And now you're flat. You've not spent any of your money. It's option writers' money that have allowed you to go from 45s to 40s and just keep writing. And of course, hopefully the stock pops back to 43, 44, 45 in the next month or two, week or two, 3 weeks, whatever. They go up $2 or $3 and you've moved into 40s, and the 40s are now $6 in the money. Nice going. You're up on those, and you're writing now 48s to 50s, and you're winning. Maybe that's your idea. Maybe your plan. That could be your plan. The whole plan. That could be your whole plan. Get her. Oh no! If I don't sell them today, I'm going to be calculating all weekend. Oh no. The Kramer curse is in effect. He mentioned SoFi yesterday on the air, and SoFi is down. Why the face? FL, Tesla is going down. Not sure what's going on with this one. Lots of speculation around power people trying to suppress it to torpedo the Twitter deal. Might need to go out and buy some tinfoil. Well, it is what it is. Tesla is in its own world. 1,200 a share, now 600 something a share. It moves. You all know it moves. That's a wild one. Okay. Apple 138.51, up 116. It got up to 140, didn't it? And now it's back to 138.51. Very interesting. The Dow back positive again, 639. Matterport up 9. SmartRent up 7. SoFi down 9 cents. GameStop down 33 cents at the moment. There you have it. Watching these markets, and lots to watch at all times. Treasury yields turn lower as Dow Industrials, S&P 500 lose momentum in morning trade. 10-year rate falls below 284 as a headline coming out, showing 2.835. Yep, that's down again on interest rates. U.S. Treasuries are falling on yield. Germany is at 0.95. And currency-wise, the euro is at 105.61, the pound 124.78. So they're hanging around down here at the moment. That's it. Okay. AB is saying that Tesla's down because Chinese laborers are rioting over being chained to the factory floor during COVID. Same reason Apple is. And there's just been all kinds of reports about how badly workers have been treated over there and how they're just not happy. The bosses at the Communist Party, they want Chinese people to be workers. Don't be thinkers. Just be workers. These workers are going, we're not going to take this crap. You guys live high in the hog in Beijing with your fancy lifestyles and everything else, and we're slaving down here on the factory floor. For what? What's up? What's our upside? Keep coming back to work. We can't even go home right now. We're forced to eat, sleep, eat, and work here. This is ridiculous. I wonder how much longer that's going to work. I don't know. Yeah, during draconian lockdown, that is. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. One wonders. Yeah, up 9 points, 9.7 on the Dow now, and we're down 8 cents on SoFi right here at the moment. That's where we're at. Glad I don't live in China. Glad I'm not a common laborer in China. Oh my gosh. No, thank you. A drink to that. Not one of those saps. Oh my gosh. Not good. Not good at all. Thank you, everybody. We have 226 thumbs ups. Thanks, guys. That's very appreciated. We love it. And welcome to the channel today and hanging out with us from Edinburgh in Scotland. A unique place, gotta say. It's kind of cool. Let's see if I can get show you a couple more photos of Edinburgh. I wonder if that's possible. Photos of us being here. There's this big old castle kind of nearby. And I'm just going to see if I'm able to show you a photo of it. I'm not sure if I can. I'll try. There we go. Maybe I can do it this way. And if I now go over here, maybe I can pop up a photo for you to look at of this region. There we go. And if I scroll up here, I might be able to find the photo I just uploaded. If my daughter was doing this, she could do this in 10 seconds. Me? Forever. Yeah. Here we go. Here's a picture of the castle here in Edinburgh. If you look to the right, you'll see that steeple, that church steeple, the tall one, and then the two smaller ones. Further down from there is where we are at. We're down here by the train station, but yeah, this castle is up on this hill, obviously. And at one time, nothing was around it, but it was up there, and royalty would hang out there and look over the land, and the king would be protected for at all costs. Very, very pretty place. Really, really, really nice. See if I can find you another photo. I'm not sure if I can. Oh, yeah, there's some other interesting shots here. I wonder if I can grab one of these. Show them to ya. Give you a little tour. A couch side tour. How about that? Don't know if I can do this. Oh my. The there's a ship here. It's a Britannia. The former ship of the Queen, the Royal Yacht Britannia, is here in Edinburgh, permanently moored now. She is a floating museum that you can come to and walk out and boot for a fee, of course. But let's see if I got a decent photo of her. I'm not sure if that's going to do it any justice. Mm, 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 mm. And apparently, the clocks on board her have been permanently stopped. They no longer. They have been shut off at a certain time. I think. Let me hang on. I'll try to save this one here. I think the time is something like 3:01 or something like that. Because that is the exact time that the Queen walked off the ship for the last time. When she was, because after that, she was decommissioned after that time, and so the last time she was on her was at precisely at this 3:01 time frame. Here it is, right here. I'll see if I can get this to pop in. See if this picture works. Yeah, here it comes. Here we go. Here's the Britannia for you. There you go. The Royal Britannia. And the last time she walked off the ship was 3:01, whatever the date was, and they stopped all the clocks on board the ship at that time. And she's no longer the Royal Britannia. She's now the ship that used to be known as the Royal Britannia. And this one now is moored right up on at a dock, and there's a permanent gangplank that allows you access to her. And she is now, they now allow tours. No one is allowed to sleep on the ship or stay on the ship, but they allow guided tours on board the ship every so many days a week, every day, I guess. Here's another picture of Edinburgh. You can see the castle in the background there, and you can see some of the very, very interesting places here. Some of the other steeples and turrets and who knows. A town like nothing else. There's nothing like that in my hometown. My hometown doesn't look like that. I don't know about yours, but quite interesting. There you go. What a lovely place. It certainly is. Very, very pretty. Bama Babe, we'll see you all, guys, after the weekend. I'm headed to Atlanta to a Kenny Chesney concert. Everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy, Bama Babe. That sounds like you're going to have a great time. Fantastic. Everyone else having a great weekend already, too. Everybody enjoy. We're down. Looks like we're down a little on the down now. We're off. Well, actually, I see it up 14 points. The last indicator on my big ass iPad was negative. No, I got it down. It's 38 points lower. That's right. It was my device is a bit slow. We're down 38 on the Dow. We're up 3 on S&P. We're up 13 on NASDAQ. So we're wavering, as they say, right now. Matterport is up 2 cents. Smart Rent up a nickel. SoFi down 12. GameStop up 33 cents to 99.52 to 99.75. There it is. Have you had any issues understanding the Scottish accent? Yesterday on the train, we left London and we headed north, and there's about 10 stops on the way up. Each one is about a minute, 2 minutes, and we got to, I believe it was Newcastle, which is a large city, a little over halfway, and they had a crew change. So the crew on the train, the ones who were serving us drinks and all that, they get off there, another crew gets on there, and then the train chugs along with a shift of passengers. And these folks are definitely from around here, because we noticed that they were coming around with the drink cart, offering us, would you like another beverage? And I had a hard time understanding them because of the very deep Scottish accent. Yeah, that was the first indication that, we're in a new land now, because that soft-spoken London accent is gone, and now it's this Scottish accent. Would you like another drink? And I go, what? So that was the first indication. And then we're here. As a matter of fact, we were approached on the train by one of the crew that hands out food, and she was handing out sandwiches and snacks. And I had this menu in front of me, and it showed a breakfast menu and a lunch menu, and I assumed that I could order an item off the lunch menu since it was in the afternoon, but I assumed incorrectly. The real reason that you can't get lunch is because the train was a morning train, and it would only offer a hot breakfast for morning. And if you left London or Edinburgh in the afternoon, you would get the option of the hot lunch meal. Anyway, I hadn't caught that, and so I asked the lady. She came by. Would you like a sandwich? I said, "Can I have one of these?" And she says, "Oh no, dear." And then she explained to me in her Scottish accent how that this is only a service for the. I just kind of went, okay, okay, well, thanks. I'll have a bag of chips, So she gave me a couple of other things instead, and off she went. And I looked at Jen, and Jen looked at me and went, "You didn't understand a word she said, did you?" I said, "No, I don't." I had no idea. I couldn't pick it up. My ears were not going fast enough to absorb the lingo and convert it into English that I could understand. It was so fun. But I was very cool about it. I was like, I see. Oh, that's why. Of course. Yes, of course. Well, might I have one of those and one of those? Oh, yes, no problem, love. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Duncan is saying, Bama, take a lot of photos of that Kenny Chesney concert. What are you all expecting from SoFi today's display? Looks like dropping would go on for a long time. We're at 756, down 19 cents. Duncan, Larry, don't forget about tea, biscuits, tea time in Scotland. Tesla's dropping, says Duncan. Larry is laughing. Oh, my God. That was wild. It was just crazy. Tesla right now is off $35 to 673, falling off. Yeah, the Dow now down 106 points is the Dow drop. We're probably going negative on the other indexes by now. Let's see. Yep, we're down 7 on S&P and down 26 on Nasdaq, and we're approaching the end of the London day now, or the end of the European trading day. So that's coming to an end here, and America is on its own going forward. Question is, will it just go lower now, or will the American market go after bargain hunting here between now and the close, and will that accelerate at the end of the day into a strong close? That is the question. We'll see. We're down 124 on the Dow. Larry, I've been told my American accent is hard to understand when I'm in Europe. Scottish brogue, says Vernon. Scottish brogue, yeah, I'll tell you, it was something. We've only had a taste of it. Now, last night we went to an Italian restaurant, and so we were serviced by Italians who speak English in their own style. Very understandable for us, not a problem. So we didn't run into that. We went into a Scottish pub and had no idea that we just ordered haggis on a stick. So we haven't done that. Ooh, you like a wee bit of haggis on the stick? Oh, sure. Oh, here we go. Uh, what you didn't realize that you just made a wager with the entire bar that you couldn't finish it without hurling your guts up before you got to the end of it, and they're all going to watch you to see if you can hold it down for a half an hour. You had no idea. You made that bet, and now you're the center of attention, and you're not leaving. BW. So is a Scottish accent kind of like listening to the Cajun guy on Adam Sandler's movie The Water Boy? What the face did you just say? Oh my. Well, I will say this: that beside the railway station, there's a hotel known as the Balmoral. Beautiful place, a huge, gigantic, six-story tall building that must have always been a hotel. Really nice. And the doormen have kilts. The doormen wear kilts. So, boy, get your camera out. There you go. These guys wear this for a living. Michael, what the hell's going on? Yeah. So yeah, there's some nice hotels here, and there's things to. We actually, Jen and I walked by a store yesterday on the way to our restaurant. We passed by a tailor that specializes in making kilts. Yeah, the kilt place. I don't remember the name of the place, but I said, "Well, Jen, look at that! I can buy my own custom-made kilt outfit right here, right in downtown Edinburgh." Gotta love that. Duncan, just watch Billy Connolly on YouTube, and you will learn the Scottish accent. Try and understand that guy. Not all of us Cajuns talk like that, says Coyote. Oh my gosh. I was trying to explain to my daughter the other day. We had a FaceTime call, and she said, "Dad, how's the channel going? How are all the gang? How's the gang doing with you over in the UK?" I said, "Well, we had one of those shows the other day where topics came up out of nowhere, and the next thing you know, we're talking about broken wooden spoons that were feared by many of my viewers, switches, and headless Barbie dolls. All this came up on a chat the other day on this channel when the market was dropping 1,200 points. So my daughter says, "Well, you guys seem to figure out a way to cope." Yeah, I said, yeah. We try to cope in hard times with all kinds of different topics to sort of, deflect the reality of the situation. We talk about our PTSD levels and what brings it on. And for some of us, it's headless Barbie dolls. In other cases, it's wooden spoons from the kitchen drawer. There's all kinds of things that we bring it up here. John, Sofi trying to get back all of yesterday's gains. Why the face? We're down 23 cents. Duncan, don't forget VCR tapes. Though they used to throw those at our heads. It kind of shows you how old you are versus the kind of punishment you used to get. If you got the leather belt, you're of an older age. If you got the wooden spoon, you're of a certain age. If you got the VCR thing thrown at you, that's another age. If you got beatings from headless Barbie dolls, you're of a certain age. I suppose. Don't forget the fuzzy mustache banter had us rolling as well. The fuzzy mustache banter. That's right. God, my dad used to hate the water boy, saying it made Cajuns look bad. I was like, "Dad, it ain't that serious." Kissing mother-in-laws. There's also that traumatic PTSD episode. That's right. We've covered all kinds of traumatic things happening to us. Known several people from Scotland, very understandable until they go home for a visit. They come back with the brogue. Brogue. Watch Kenny Chesney play his newest hit single, "My Headless Doll." Oh yeah, my headless Barbie doll. My stink bit already got hit on those Apple calls. $380 profit in 2 hours. This is the easiest job I've ever had. You gotta love working for yourself like this. You gotta love it. It's so simple. Isn't that great? Isn't it great when it just pays like that? It's just fantastic. Now you get to look to right again. Oh, making money in the option market. The stock's only at 137.31. I mean, it's not like it had to go $20 a share for you to make a profit. Not at all. Oh, love this. Love it. The Dow's off 176. Matterport is down 3 cents. Smart Rent up a penny. Sofi down 23 to 752. GameStop down $1.06. AMC down 53. ATIP down 2.5 cents. Rocket Lab down 17 cents. Xterra up a penny. ME down 2.5. Spire down a half a penny. Pfizer holding a 160 gain. HPQ 91-cent loss today. And let's see, Robinhood at $10 on the nose, down 21. Vanik down 180. IBM down $2. Microsoft up 66 cents. Apple unchanged on the Yapple. Goldman up down 41 cents. Cisco up 27. Facebook up 324. Amazon up 20. Tesla down 40 to 669.25. Make that 667 now on Tesla, down $41. Google down $26. Bed Bath Beyond $8.97, down 70 cents. BlackBerry down 2 pennies. Royal Caribbean down 146 to 55.97. Target down a buck. JP Morgan down 70. Costco down 960. Walmart off 51 cents. Nvidia 630 lower. Disney down to 102.50, down 60 cents. Don't mess with the mouse. American Airlines down 18 cents. Netflix up $2 to 185. Moderna down 690 to 136. Those are the markets, down 183 on the Dow. That's what we got here. You're welcome, Austin, says Duncan. Bill, grandma's fuzzy mustache. Oh, my. Cam, what about Mike Myers playing the Scottish grandfather? Look at the size of that fella's head. I think I see Sputnik orbiting around. Duncan, Austin, my drink package is about the same amount. Hector, Uncle Bruce, when I misbehaved, my parents simply said, go mow the lawn. It was 3 acres. I walked behind the mower for 3 acres. Oh, God. BW, I'm sure AMI, I still can't figure out what that dude said in H20, boy. That accent, and the Scottish one that Mike Myers had playing the dad role in So I Married an Axe Murderer. Oh, no. Get in me belly, says the big fat bastard. Oh, my. Oh, yeah. So much fun. We're down 28 cents on SoFi at $7.47 a share. GameStop down $1.24. The Dow right now off 178.9. We're down 18 on S&P. We're down 64 on NASDAQ. Oh, yes. We've got a bit of a sell-off happening. We'll see how long it'll last, if it's all that strong. Will there be a last 3-hour recovery? I'll be on this afternoon at 3 Eastern. We'll find out for the last hour of the day just what's going on over there. I invite you to join me there for that too. What about Mel Gibson's accent in Braveheart? I have no idea if it was good or not. No idea. Oh, my. Gosh sakes. Fun times at the OK Corral, kids. Such fun times. Oh, boy. Yep, I don't know. It's a quiet one. It's a down day. 195 now on the Dow, down 195. But at the moment, we'll see what kind of down dip this is going to be. Does this market really want to do this? I don't know. I think we're a bit oversold here. I think we're a lot oversold, actually. Bad boys. What you gonna do when the babes come for you? Know the now. Yep. It is what it is. Folks, I'm going to cut this show early. I'm going to take a little break now. and I'll be back with you at 3 Eastern time. Keep your eyes on your markets. Keep making money on these option trades. They're just handing this to you. Take the money. Take the money. Way to go, you guys. And sell into a run and enjoy the dip each and every time they hand it to you. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing at all. SoFi 748 right now, down 27 cents. But in the meantime, I'll catch up with you at 3 Eastern today for the final hour of trading. We'll see how the markets want to shut it down. Kind of go from there. And then we'll catch you later on this afternoon. Okay, guys? Thank you so much. Stay healthy and stay well. If I don't see you till Monday, we'll see you Monday. And it's a week Monday. That's Memorial Day, not this Monday. So it's a week Monday. I'll be on. Well, will I be on? Yeah, I'll be on. I'll be on from Amsterdam. I'll be on. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Where am I? What day of the week is it? Will I be on? Yes, I will. Larry Titus, I might be off getting a rental car and miss the evening show. Have a good evening and weekend, everybody. Thanks, Larry. John, if they can get it under 7 today so far, I am quitting the market. You too, Larry. You take care, says Michael. Later, dudes and dudettes, he says BW. All right, we'll see you at 3 today. Bye for now, everybody, from Edinburgh.